Hey folks, this is Thrifty Gamer 83 here, bringing you my review of Splinter Cell for the original Xbox. Splinter Cell is one of those games that you must have in your collection, whether you are a PC gamer or console gamer. As for me, with Splinter Cell, to me, I'm more of someone who likes it on the PC. With the console version, I just felt that the controls were shoehorned onto the versions I played with the Xbox and the GameCube, and that really just comes down to my preferences for gaming. With Metal Gear Solid, I'm much better at stealth gaming, but with Splinter Cell, it actually makes you think and map and look at locations, and you do not have the benefit of the radar. You do not have the benefit of cone visions. So what you are left with is a game that is truthfully stealth intensive. And that is just something that is so great to see. That eliminates the factors that what you got away with in Metal Gear Solid, you're not going to get away with in Splinter Cell. In Metal Gear Solid, you could walk up, grab a guy, and toss him. In Splinter Cell, you really can't. You have to knock them out from behind, or you have to shoot them. And shooting in this game can be a little bit hard. The windage always plays a part in your precision aiming, so when you line up a headshot, it will not always be a headshot. You can miscalculate by, say, just the tiniest amount and actually miss the shot. And that is something which most stealth games don't like to portray, that sense of realism. It's interesting that Ubisoft was able to put Splinter Cell into that category, into what it had to be one of the best games to stand toe-to-toe with Konami's Metal Gear Solid. And thus far, it has all but outlasted Kojima's magic. Not to say that Hideo Kojima does not deserve due credit, it's just that Konami, making poor decisions, decided to tee off one of its most talented. For me, personally, Metal Gear Solid is always one of my favorite games, but I also love that stark realism in contrast of Splinter Cell. You don't get to have these little hidey holes. Your enemies are just, they can really wipe you out just in seconds. With Metal Gear Solid, you really have some chances to cheat up on an enemy. With Splinter Cell, the dynamic realism, the fact that you can actually miss shots, it gives you an added incentive to hang on to ammunition, which can be scarce, and to hang on to medical kits, as you will not get, say, the medical advantage of a kit dropping from a fallen enemy or ammunition from a fallen enemy. You are completely limited. You have to really think it through with Splinter Cell. You have to actually look at the situations which you're walking into to know what will happen in the game. I like the dynamic realism. However, with the controls, I've always felt the PC had spot-on controls. It had much better controls. With the console versions, it just felt shoehorned in. And coming from a Metal Gear Solid fan, I do apologize. I do like Splinter Cell. I just think that what happened is the controllers were kind of shoehorned in onto the consoles. However, I really don't mind that, except when I want to jump. I usually wind up drawing my gun, and when I want to draw my gun, I usually wind up jumping. And it's just something that always sticks with me on Splinter Cell. So I cannot say enough about Splinter Cell. I cannot take away too much from Splinter Cell, as it gives more realism, which is something that was known of in Tom Clancy work, so it's really good to see it adapted. Really, folks, rant, rave, love, hate, click that subscribe button. You're keeping my show on the air. If you have any requests, let me know. If you check my Twitter feed at thriftygamer83, just let me know what you want to see out of my collection. I will be putting up better shots of my collection soon. Have a good one.